If all children who die in infancy go to heaven, it's not because they're sinless. It's because the blood of Christ covers them. We're commanded to live blameless and innocent lives. Show of hands, who in the room is blameless? So glad nobody raised their hands. We're born in sin. King David wrote a long time before Jesus was born, after he was found in sin, I'm a sinner and I was conceived in sin. Now, he wasn't saying that his mom was unfaithful to his dad. He was saying even in the bounds of covenant marriage, when I was conceived, I was a sinner from the moment of conception. And you want to talk about countercultural? That's not the way we think. We're like, oh, no, babies are sinless. Then why do they get sick? It's not because they have actively sinned, but because they have inherited the curse from their first parent, Adam. He was our representative. And so not only did we inherit the tendency to sin, we also inherited the curse that his sin earned. A dear loved one who disagrees with me on that point just finds that unfathomable and said, I think that all babies who die go to heaven. And I go, well, the Bible actually doesn't tell us. I wish there was just a real plain verse that said all babies who die go to heaven. The challenge comes when we think about that would make abortion a great mercy, wouldn't it? And it's not. It's a sin that needs to be repented of. Occasionally, every generation or so, you hear stories about a parent who snaps and takes the life of their own children. We know deep down inside that that is wrong. But if those kids go to heaven, and this is often the justification that those parents who have snapped give, is that I just didn't want them to face the evils in the world. So I subjected them to the most heinous evil imaginable. We know at our core that that is evil. And so while I wish that there was a verse that said all children who die in infancy go to heaven, here's what I can tell you. I can tell you the character of God. And this is what I tell my dear loved one who disagrees with me on this point. If all children who die in infancy go to heaven, it's not because they're sinless. It's because the blood of Christ covers them. And I think there's a strong case to be made that children who die in infancy do go to heaven. There's just not simply a verse that I can point to. And the reason I bring this up is to say that the example to us was Christ, and the example in us is that we are commanded here to live blameless and innocent lives without blemish. But we can't. What are we supposed to do, Paul? How are we supposed to do this? How are we supposed to live innocent and blameless lives without blemish? There's only one way. And that's to take off our robes that are stained with sin and to take the robes that Christ offers us and put them on and be clothed in his righteousness. That's that active obedience that we were talking about. And then the passive obedience is that Jesus doesn't just let our sin cloak lay there on the ground. He picks it up and he puts it on himself. God in human flesh did that for you, friend. Will you trust him? Will you do as Paul is commanding us and live blameless and innocent lives without blemish by clothing yourself in the righteousness of Christ? This is what it means to be Christ-like, is to be obedient and to make him known. And when we clothe ourselves in the righteousness of Christ, it necessarily means you're going to live differently today than you did yesterday. We're not going to go on living the way we used to live in our old clothes. We're going to live a new way in new clothes.